Hi, my name's Everett Schilling, and I'll kind of tell you my story. I've been in Life Vantage now since 2010. We got involved basically because I was looking for more time. I wanted a little more freedom. We've been in Gillette, Wyoming. My wife and I have been for 23 years. The two of us have been together. Her name's Gay. Have been together since 1985. We got married in 1988. That led to two amazing sons, Drew and Garrett. Garrett's an electrical engineer in Bismarck, North Dakota. Our oldest son is a lineman for the city of Gillette in Gillette, Wyoming. And that led to a beautiful granddaughter, Briley Drew. My background is construction, trucking. I've been mainly in management, business management for many years, which eventually I was lucky enough to become one of the part owners of a very large construction company. We were a build-to-suit company. Basically, our job was to build buildings. We owned them, we leased them, develop properties. We had a pipeline company. We had our fingers in quite a few things. My frustration with that was I didn't seem to have the time to do the things that I loved. We always portray that our family is the most important thing in the world, but yet we run off to 40-hour work weeks or 50 or 60 or more. And that began to wear on me and frustrate me. And I wanted more control of my time and my finances. So we were actually contacted by a particular lady that I met in high school. We moved from Alaska to Wyoming my junior year of high school. I met a young lady there by the name of Marilyn Johnson, and she was in my weightlifting class. And I was only there for a few months, and I left and I went back to Alaska. And came back, hadn't seen her in 31 years, and I got a private Facebook message to give her a call, which I thought was kind of weird. And it took us a little while to call her, and finally I did, and I asked the question, what do you do for a living? And I remember her saying, listen, I've got something I'm very excited about. I want to share this with you, and it's really important to me. And she goes, can you get in front of your computer? And I said, no. I just send it to me, and I will look at it, I promise. So I took it home, gave it to my wife. And so I gave it to Gay. She looks at it, and she's seen the ABC Primetime, and we had seen the original ABC Primetime on Pro Tandem. We went to GNC to buy it in 2005, and the girl at GNC tried talking us into a cheaper product, not knowing really what it was, and we left with nothing. 2010 is when Marilyn called us, and when I gave it to my wife, she says she was very excited about that. And I says, order the product, and I want nothing to do with the business, nothing to do with it whatsoever. Long story short, we talked about it a lot over months. Marilyn kept following up with us because I told her no, we took the product, but I said, no, I'm not going to do the business. Finally, one day, my wife asked me what my problem was. And I was problem with what? And she goes, with that whole thing. And I was 3 letters, MLM. And she goes, what's that supposed to mean? And I said, well, I just feel like every unprofessional person in the world does it because they won't leave you alone. They're relentless. So that was my view of it back then, was that people were just relentless and they wouldn't leave you alone. And she kind of stood there, she was quiet for a little bit, and she goes, well, can't you treat it professional? And it left me thinking about it. And I was, you know what? I says, that's true. That's true. A couple days later, we called her back and said we were in. The problem with it was we got super busy. We were getting ready to build another building. I had a huge development. We were looking at a 56-acre development right in the middle of the city, and we needed to start filling it. And I decided I didn't want nothing to do with this, and I pretty much threw everything in the garbage. I was done. I didn't even start, put it that way. I shouldn't even say done. I hadn't even started. And I just kind of threw it in the garbage. My wife pulled it out and told me to relax. Shortly after Christmas, I decided that for things to get better, for things to change, I had to change. And I needed to do something about it and just dive into it head first and get after it. So January of 2011, we got started into this business full time. And by end of February of the next year, we were Pro 7 in the business. And in a town of 30,000 people, 7th largest state and least populated. Most people have more people in their neighborhood than we do in the whole state of Wyoming. So anybody can do it. It's just dedicate yourself to the system and the mentorship and give it a 2 to 5 year commitment. and it'll change everything for you. Gay and I haven't regretted it. I love the freedom behind it. We enjoy being able to do what we want with whoever we want, anytime we want. And that's the type of stuff you'll be able to say if you just put the time in and build the thing. So thank you very much. Have a great day.